All right, so jumping right into it.
Yeah.
The LA fires of 2025.
Right.
A lot of you have sent in some really
Yeah.
interesting articles and research on this topic.
It's a big one.
And I'm Ajith.
I'm Rebecca.
We're going to be diving into this today. So
Let's do it.
you know, when we see those images of LA in flames,
Right.
it's you know, we kind of
Unfortunately,
get used to it.
yeah, it's becoming a regular occurrence, sadly.
It's becoming like a yearly thing, like, oh, California's dry season.
Right.
A few lightning strikes here and there, but
It's definitely more than that.
there's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, those natural causes,
Oh.
they're definitely a part of it,
Yeah.
but rarely the whole story.
Yeah. What are some of the things that we're
Mostly.
seeing as far as human action?
Well, I mean, just negligence.
Okay. Negligence, how?
Cigarettes, things like that, campfires not put out properly.
Right.
Sparks from machinery.
Okay.
And, this time,
There's a lot of suspicion around power lines,
especially with those Santa Anas, right?
especially with those Santa Ana winds.
Yeah, those were
Knocking things over.
They were crazy this year.
And arson hasn't been ruled out.
Arson. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do they even?
That's a whole other can of worms, right?
How do they even determine that? Like how?
It's so tough.
Yeah.
I mean, sifting through evidence
yeah.
in areas that are, completely destroyed.
Right.
Sometimes it's very deliberate. Sometimes it's land disputes or even insurance fraud.
Wow.
So it's already a tough situation.
Right.
Made even tougher.
Yeah. So we've got the potential natural causes.
Yeah.
We've got negligence. We've got arson.
Right.
And then we've got
And then the big one?
climate change.
Yeah. How does that all play in?
How does that factor into all of this?
It's a huge factor.
Okay.
Research has shown that for every degree Celsius,
Yeah.
that the temperature increases.
The moisture in the vegetation can decrease
Wow.
by like 4%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the chaparral,
Right.
it just becomes a tinderbox.
Wow.
And with the droughts that we've been having,
Yeah, record-breaking this year.
record-breaking heat waves,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like a perfect storm.
a perfect recipe for disaster.
You throw those Santa Ana winds in there.
Right.
And it's just,
Forget about it.
yeah,
Uncontrollable.
basically.
Now, you mentioned urban planning as well.
Right.
What role does that play in this?
Well, think about LA just constantly expanding,
Right.
pushing further and further out.
Right, into wild, undeveloped areas.
Exactly. So it creates what we call that wildland-urban interface.
Oh, so it's not just about what sparks the fire, but what's
What's in its way.
in the way of the fire.
Yeah, we're building our cities.
Right into the fire zone, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how does this year stack up to
Right.
some of the other major fires that we've seen?
Like 2020 was a bad year.
Oh, 2020 was devastating.
Yeah.
Over 4.2 million acres burned.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
So, this year,
Yeah.
the fires themselves might not reach that acreage,
Okay.
but the economic and the social impacts,
Right.
they could be even more severe.
Why is that?
Because those fire-prone areas are even more densely populated now.
Oh, so the development
Exactly.
has increased. So the damage potential is
Oh, yeah.
astronomical.
Much greater
Wow.
for loss of life and property damage.
So it's not just about the scale of the fire.
No, it's about the vulnerability.
It's about the human cost.
Exactly. And that brings up another point.
Yeah.
The wildfire season in California,
Right.
it's not just a few months anymore.
Right. It's year-round.
It's year-round. We're seeing fires erupt all the time.
Yeah.
Shorter and shorter breaks between them.
Yeah, and they're saying that's only going to get worse.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what climate scientists are predicting.
Yeah.
If we don't do something, it's a scary thought. They're just going to become more frequent and more destructive.
It's really a reality check.
It is.
When you think about all of this,
Yeah.
like we really have to take a look at ourselves
Right.
and our actions because it's not just
What's contributing to the problem.
we're contributing to the problem.
Yeah.
It's not just a natural disaster anymore.
Right. It's a combination.
It's a combination of factors, and we are a factor.
We are a factor.
So, individual responsibility,
Absolutely.
urban planning, climate change,
Yeah.
all this has to be addressed.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
And as climate change gets worse,
yeah,
we're going to have to rethink how we do
everything
pretty much.
from development to fire prevention.
Yeah, the old ways.
The old ways aren't working.
They're not cutting it.
Not cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, listener, but
What are you thinking about all this?
what are you thinking about with all this information?
What stands out to you
Yeah.
as the most important thing?
Yeah, this has been a very eye-opening conversation, I think.
Yeah.
And, thank you so much, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
For taking the time to really break this down for us.
Of course.
And listener, we hope this deep dive has been informative for you. And
stay informed.
Yeah, stay informed.
Stay engaged.
Stay engaged.
Be part of the solution.
Yeah, and let's all do our part to prevent this from happening again.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
For listening.
Bye.